Well, hello guys, welcome to this experiment video on the Custard Prophet. This is the second of these experiment videos that I've done, and here we're focusing on League One in the English Football League. This is the league I'm particularly interested in, as I'm a Burton Albion fan, hence the lovely yellow and black colouring. And if you weren't aware of that, go and check out my Gone for a Burton save, which you can find in playlists on the channel. It's rather good. It's rather good. Go and have a look. So in this current experiment, what we've done is we have simulated 10 seasons, 10 separate seasons, all the way to the end of the season, and we're looking at who's won, who's gone up, who's gone down, who's got into the playoffs in each season. We're accumulating all that data together, and then we're using that to see whether FM19 is able to predict what has happened in League One. So I'm recording this video on the final day of the regular season. So League One has finished. We've had 46 games played, and we haven't had the playoffs yet, but we'll be able to see where people finish. To see whether this is a good predictor, whether you can actually predict this whether you can predict League One using this sort of approach, or whether it is just too blooming random to predict. So what we're going to do is go through the 10 seasons one after the other, and then we'll have a look at them all together. This is a fairly stripped down version of what I did for the championship version of this experiment. If you're not aware of that, go and have a look at that one as well. I'll put a link for that at the end of the video. So let's get into it. Let's look at the first simulation. So in the first simulation, we had Barnsley winning the league, who obviously did very well in real life. Scunthorpe coming second, and Portsmouth getting promoted via the playoffs. So a couple of surprises there. I mean, Scunthorpe certainly didn't do that well in real life. Portsmouth did fairly well, and then Fleetwood, Sunderland, and Luton finishing up in the playoffs. All three of those did okay. Sunderland and Luton did more than okay, but Fleetwood were certainly in the top half. So it's not a bad prediction. And going down from this league were Rochdale, Bristol Rovers, Gillingham, and Coventry. Interesting. That's not the best prediction in the world, at least at the bottom there. So second season, Barnsley have again won the league. I mean, they've gone up in real life, but they've won the league in this context. Sunderland coming second, which is, I imagine they would have liked that. It was all looking very good, like it would be a Sunderland, a Sunderland promotion party, this League One, but didn't end up like that. And then Bradford coming third. I mean, yeah, didn't quite work like that in real life, did it? Accrington, Oxford, and the mighty Burton coming sixth in there. Oxford going up via the playoffs with Oxford. Actually, they finished 12th in real life. But I imagine, because I think Chris Wilder was probably still at Oxford, was he not? At the start of the season, when did he leave for Sheffield United? I'm not sure. Going down, Peterborough, no. Coventry, no. Shrewsbury and Wickham. It hasn't worked, has it? So, season 3, Luton winning the league. Well, it's worked, yeah. Luton did win the league. Sunderland coming second in this incarnation. Walsall coming third. I mean, Walsall have done well for many a season, but not this season. Blackpool, Barnsley, again, coming fifth, but it's Southend who went up via the playoffs. That's an interesting pick. And then Wickham, Rochdale, Shrewsbury, and Doncaster going down. Doncaster did very were sort of the hanging on to the playoffs for a long time. On to season 4. So Sunderland, and this was the biggest points total we saw, absolutely dominated this league. And you would have thought that would have happened a few more times. I think if you were going to predict the league, you would think Sunderland would come top because they are the biggest club in this division. And Scunthorpe come in second, which is a bit of a surprise. Wimbledon, who certainly would not be expected to be up there, coming third, but didn't go up for the playoff. Oxford again successful via the playoffs, with Luton and Barnsley, who obviously did very well in real life. And then it's Bristol Rovers, Rochdale, Coventry and Wycombe going down. So in season 5 it's Portsmouth and again Sunderland going up. That's probably not far away from where they were. Barnsley in third, Burton good to see in fourth, Charlton in sixth, but it's Walsall who go up via the playoffs. I'm sure the Walsall fans would love that. And we've got here an accurate prediction. So in 21st, where Plymouth finished, that's where they are, with Accrington, Coventry and Wycombe, the others relegated. But I would never have thought Plymouth would have gone down this year. When you looked at where they were, I don't know, about a month ago, it was nowhere near the bottom. I know it was all very close, but they have dropped like a stone. Very disappointing. So again, in this season 6, Sunderland and Charlton go up via the automatics, and Portsmouth via the playoffs. But it's Barnsley, Burton and Walsall missing out. And it's Plymouth again, they've got it again, finishing in 21st. This time it's Luton in 22nd. Interesting. With Blackpool and Shrewsbury also going down. So into season 7, Sunderland again winning the league. Bradford come in second. They are a big club. Certainly as a Burton fan, they nicked Hope Akpan. They looked like they were going to do well. It just didn't happen. And the fact they finished 24th, that is a crazy thing, a crazy place for them to finish considering the size of club that they are. Portsmouth went up by the playoffs and they finished third, so they'll feel vindicated by that. And then it's Barnsley, Oxford doing well again, Burton in there again, which is good to see. And then it's Wycombe, Rochdale, Accrington and Shrewsbury going down. Season 8 we have Portsmouth and Sunderland up automatically, Barnsley via the playoff, and it's Charlton, Luton and Southend in the playoffs, but they were unsuccessful. And then it's Peterborough going down along with Wycombe and Doncaster and Bristol Rovers. This is almost a backwards league, that is. Again, we have Sunderland in season 9 winning the league with Fleetwood. They did well. Joey Barton did okay when he wasn't hitting people in the tunnel. Fleetwood's finishing second in the automatics. Portsmouth going up by the playoffs, and it's Charlton and Southend and Luton, the unlucky playoff losers, with Doncaster, Rochdale, Walsall and Wycombe going down. The final season was Barnsley and Portsmouth, who were automatically promoted, with Sunderland going up via the playoffs, Charlton, Luton and Bradford. Bradford again predicted to do quite well. They finished in the playoff positions but didn't go up. And again it's Doncaster, Coventry. I'm not quite sure why FM thinks Coventry are so bad. It's surprising. And Wycombe and Rochdale going down. So let's have a look when we put all that together what that comes up with. So what we've done here is essentially created we have created a point system. So champions get 3 points if you went up, promoted but weren't champions you get 2 points. If you lose in the playoffs you get 1 point, and then you lose a point if you are relegated. So putting all of those things together, the FM predicts that Sunderland and Barnsley are going to finish top, which isn't quite right. Well, Barnsley's right. Barnsley's second in real life and second on here. And then we have Portsmouth, Luton, Charlton and Oxford in the playoff positions, and Shrewsbury, Coventry, Rochdale and Wycombe going down. Let's just have a little look then in comparison to how that finished in real life. So what I think is really fascinating is that the top 5 it's not in the right order, but it was predicted by FM19. So over those 10 games, the top 5 are correct. Only one of them is in the correct place. So Sunderland finished 5th in reality, but they were top in this. Barnsley were spot on 2nd and 2nd. Portsmouth were 4th in reality, but 3rd in this. Luton were top in reality, but 4th in this, and Charlton 5th in this, but 3rd in reality. After that, it all goes a bit random. Burton did fairly well. Burton finished, they're predicted to finish 8th by FM, finished 9th, not bad. Fleetwood got it absolutely spot on. But what is quite interesting is that none of the teams that were predicted to get relegated by FM got relegated, or even, well, actually they got fairly close to being relegated with the exception of Coventry. And a couple of the teams, so Bradford and Scunthorpe, the FM predict would do quite well. They both got relegated in real life. So actually it's an utter mishmash. As soon as you get out of that top 5, it becomes incredibly hard to predict. And I guess this is probably due to the sort of the nature of the teams in this league. There's a lot of very similar sized teams, and it's difficult to know who's going to come where. I know Burton came down from the Championship, so they are always going to have a little bit of an advantage when you compare it to other teams. But it'll be interesting to see how Burton do next year. I'm hoping they'll do well. Certainly we've finished the season very, very well, but you know, you can never take anything for granted. And if people come in for the wrong players, and we lose players, and we don't get the right players in to replace them, then things can go wrong. But yeah, I mean, it'd be very interesting to see. I mean, I'm not entirely sure who I think is going to go up via the playoffs. You would think Sunderland have got a good chance. You think Portsmouth have got a good chance, and Doncaster have really fought their way into it as well. And Charlton under Lee Bowyer have looked fairly good all season. So I would think probably one of those top 3 in the playoffs will be the eventual winners. But Doncaster have been on good form, and they have had to battle, and the others, they haven't had to battle quite so much. They've kind of had it. They've known what's going to happen for quite some time. Well, I suppose with the exception of trying to get that automatic position. But yeah, so the outcome of this is that FM predicted quite well who was going to do well in the league, but very badly who was going to do badly in the league, which is interesting in itself. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. Go and have a look at some of the other stuff we've got going on. We have a championship version of this, and if you do want to see any other forms of this, other leagues within this database, let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to put a video up describing that league. If you want me to go into more detail, let me know as well. I can talk about players and various other things as I did in the championship video. But yeah, and I will see you next time you hop along to one of our videos. But until then, see you later. Bye.